Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. But anyways, fans, thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Cha-ching! And today we have a very special guest. This is one of my closest friends. He's like a primo to me, a cousin. Give it up for Sam Flores. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up? How you doing, man?
Good, good, man. You're the last brother I had to get on.
Yeah, it's been a while. I was hoping you'd ask me. I was like, yeah, I gotta get on this show, Gotta talk to my boy.
Yeah, man. I didn't want nobody to get jealous. You know what I'm saying?
I know it was coming. I know it was coming.
Strong. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. That's what I heard. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, Sam, he has two younger brothers, Christian, Jonathan, and then Sam. So they're all siblings. I've had them on my show. This is the first time I have the oldest brother, Sam. So it's a big honor, man. This guy. I got so many stories to share. So I do want to share a story. So for those who don't know, we grew up like young kids. I was young. He was the oldest, of course, but like the leader. And I do remember one thing growing up is I was really bad for language arts class, which those who don't know, that's English class pretty much. And I always had to do a book report. And I will go see Sam, go to his house after school, be like, Sam, look, I got this book report. They're asking me what's the climax. I don't know what's the climax. I know the main character, but I didn't read the book. So my boy had two options. He's like, look, man, and good thing this book, they made a movie out of it. So he's like, we could watch the movie so we could skip the book, and then I'll help you out, figure out the questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was, I'm telling you, one of the best tutor, best person that helped me with with my homework. And
Hmm.
even when I got to college, I was about to graduate. And I told Sam, I got this Spanish class I'm taking. It's the hardest class ever. I said, bro, it's so hard. I can't even write a paper. That's how hard it is. And I have to write pretty much. And it was about Evo Morales, who was like the president of Bolivia. I had no idea. There's so many parties. I kind of forgot. And I did not understand the politics. And so Sam is crazy.
Yeah.
My essay was due
Yeah.
in a week. And you and I will go to your house. We'll
Hmm.
read like 15, 20 pages. We'll take turns, right? And
Yeah.
we were able to finish the essay in like 4 days.
Yep. Yep. I remember that.
You remember that? We were staying up late, brother. It
Hmm.
was a tough one, man. You see,
It was. Yeah, I do remember you. That was a tough Spanish class. It was like really advanced Spanish, and I myself, I Spanish is my native language. But even for me, I was like, wow, what is even going on in this book? It was so because there was a lot of politics, like you mentioned, and yeah, it was mind blowing. But we got it done.
yeah,
We got
dude.
it done.
I got the highest score. The professor said. He said I got the highest
Oh,
score.
really? Wow,
Yeah. He said you must be
that's awesome.
smart.
It's two minds. We combined powers.
There you go, man. I like it. I like it. Do you have any memories you can remember growing up?
Like way too many memories. Like I remember um back in the day, when I remember we moved into an apartment, and initially I think it was gonna be your mom, of course, you were gonna move in with us in the same apartment. And I remember we used to like that first week, I think we were moving in our stuff, and we were just like super excited. We were all gonna be together, we're gonna hang out and do things together, and it was really cool. I remember we used to do a bunch of stuff like, and even like, I remember back in the day before, we would have sleepovers and we were all excited. I remember like we would stay up late, like just like playing video games or watching like movies. This was like back in like late night, like 1999, maybe 2000. It was a while back with like the big CRT monitors or the TVs, the tube TVs. Yeah. So a lot of we used to watch like Disney movies like on the cassette tapes with the VCR players. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, a lot of fun things, back then. Yeah.
Dude, I do remember playing GoldenEye.
Oh yeah. GoldenEye was one of our favorite games. Yeah.
I think that's the best shooting game that has ever came out for consoles till this day.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun. I remember playing that with some buddies like this was like in what was it like 98 maybe 99
Yeah.
when it came out. Some buddies from school, we would like go like right after school, like we would go straight to his house because he was like I think the only one of us that had like an N64. And he had like a couple games. He had GoldenEye. I think he also had Bomberman. I can't remember what else. I think Star Fox 64. And we would just go to his house because it was like the newest thing, and everybody was so excited, and we just got to play. We would play for hours. It was really fun.
I'm telling you, man, good times, brother. Good
Mhm,
times. And I do gotta ask to know you a little bit more. Tell us a little bit
mhm,
about like your background, if you were, born and
mhm,
raised in
mhm.
Chicago, your hobbies, and a little bit about yourself, like about
Sure.
like, your working at Steel Series.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was born in Mexico. So like I mentioned, Spanish is my native language. We came to the U.S. When I was what, like 9 or 10 years old, I think. Um, yeah, we came with my family. My younger brothers, I think, were 2 and 3 years old at the time. So they practically like were raised here in the U.S. I mean, I kind of was too, but I was a little bit older. But my brothers were so much younger, and they basically, they adapted really quickly. They learned the language really fast. It took me a little while to really catch on and get rid of the fear of like, oh, am I gonna mess up? Am I gonna say something dumb, or people are gonna laugh at me? I might have a bit of an accent, or it's gonna be really heavy and people are gonna laugh. But yeah, um, it was a challenge, but I got through it. So yeah, we basically came straight to Chicago. We had family here, both from my mom's and my dad's side, so it just kind of made sense to come to Chicago. And yeah, I mean, was born and raised here. Well, no, not born in Mexico, but raised here from 10 years and on. Um, what else I can say? I can say that what I currently do now is software engineering or software development at SteelSeries. And I think part of that is heavily influenced by my dad, who also was like, at his time, it was like really into electronics and computer engineering and telecommunications. So that was like in his time, it was like what the maybe the early 90s. So that's what he was studying. And I remember back then he would bring like computer parts from his job home, and he would bring them, and he would like lay them all out on the table, and he would pick parts and try to build one from different parts, kind of like a Franken PC build. And this is in the 90s, where you throw in like a board from this computer, some RAM from here, a processor, and try to install an operating system. You get your CRT monitor, like those big tube monitors with the green screen, the green letters. So that was kind of fun to see him do that, and it's just kind of, it really caught my attention. He would also, I remember when I was a kid, he would also bring like little electronic kits that you would buy for like kids, and it would like be like, oh, hook up this wire here, and put this battery over here, and you'll see the lights or something. It's like little electronic projects that kids can work on, and they can get their hands on and kind of understand like the fundamentals of electronics. And all of that kind of it really interested me. And I feel like as I grew up, I saw more of it. When we moved here, he also kind of continued doing the same, bringing computer parts from work, and I would also help them. And I was interested in like, okay, how does this work? You put in a disk, you got to install an operating system, then you get to see it it works, and then you can install games and you can play games and all that. So I mean, the 90s were definitely like really interesting as far as technology. It's like basically when things got started, and I think I really love seeing all of that, and I think that's why I really got into computer science, computer engineering, and all of that. I'm really interested in electronics. So what I do now at SteelSeries is software development. So I basically write code, and I really like the atmosphere there. For those that are not familiar, SteelSeries is basically like a gaming peripherals company, kind of like similar to Razer and Logitech. So we create like keyboards and mice and headsets, like the one I'm wearing right now. It's a SteelSeries headset, and these are all geared for like gamers or streamers. And I mean, I feel like it's just for anyone really that likes to be into gaming. I actually have been able to get my younger brothers, like random SteelSeries gear that I get from work, and so they're rocking those and like cool keyboards with lights and all of that. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
No, that's pretty cool, brother. I'm gonna be honest. So I gotta say, it's one of the coolest things ever. I used to work at GameStop, and we sold a lot of Steel Series, like headsets.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
remember you came to my job. You went to
Hmm.
buy the SNES, the little mini, and you saw it. You're like, "Damn, look, you represented."
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, so it's really cool, man. I think it's awesome stuff, especially for gamers, people that love video games.
Hmm.
And Christian's very big into video
Oh
games.
yeah.
He was talking about that the whole time. Like he could spend hours, you know what I'm saying, and hours, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's really cool, man. I'm really impressed, and I love to hear that. You. One thing I gotta say, brother, um, to share to the people, I admire that when you were going to college, right? For those who don't know, he got his
Hmm.
master's, but while he was going to college at UIC, which is one
Hmm.
of the best schools in Chicago, he was working two or three
Hmm.
jobs and paying the tuition all himself. Like
Yeah.
you were really grinding, and it was motivating because you didn't have
Yeah.
scholarships, right?
Right. Right. No scholarships, and that's I just kind of had to do it because I really wanted to provide for the family. My mom, after some time, my dad and my mom kind of split, and my mom became single mom. So me kind of had to take lead, and I'm like, well, I got to do something to provide for the family. So that was always my motivation. Plus also getting my career I had to get my career going. I didn't want to just stop there. I want to further my education. But yeah, that was a motivation. And I mean the scholarships, that's because well, when we came here into the US, we came in undocumented, and so we didn't have the opportunities that other kids have. So basically had to grind and get that money and pay for school. And literally like every single paycheck was towards tuition. Like I remember there were times where like I really didn't have any money to like not even buy lunch. So I would like yeah, just you know classic, get some ramen, put it in the microwave, and see what you get the next day. But yeah, it
See,
was
that's
rough, but we got through.
we sometimes I feel like people that are born in the US, we are not grateful of what we have sometimes. I feel sometimes I feel like people outside, right? They're coming to the US, they have more of a drive to want to be someone to be successful. I'm going to share a good story.
Yeah.
One of my cousins, true story, she had a full ride scholarship to one of the best universities and went for a year. She dropped out. To this day, she's still owing money for the college. So it shows you, like, look at that. Like, sometimes that's why I always say, Latinos that are undocumented coming to the US, I think is
Hmm.
beautiful because you bring something new to the table whether it's
Mm-hmm.
work, whether it's education, whether it's ideas. I do have to share this, brother. One of my favorite books of all time, by John Steinbeck, who wrote Mice and Men, but he wrote another book called Tortillas Flat. And in that book, he talks about Mexicans coming to the US and how he considered them as heroes to the US. One of the first white men to ever say that, in my opinion. Maybe there's someone else
Mm-hmm.
before him, but for
Mm-hmm.
me to hear that and my favorite author, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
you got my vote. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I try to tell people, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real, man. I've had a lot of debates where a lot of people are so against having um undocumented people coming to the US that is very hard to get citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to tell people a lot of times, it could be financially, it could be physically. You're leaving
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like a refugee. You're leaving for a better place to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a story once
Mm-hmm.
where a family, their house got burned down, right? And it was just the people in that town, whoever were the, you could say the rebels. They didn't make their family feel safe, so they escaped and they
Mm-hmm.
moved to the US. That's one story. My mom, she came through a plane at first, and her visa got expired, and she became undocumented. Different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, brother, hands down,
Yeah.
fam, I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 I think that the us Latinos, and not just Latinos, but just immigrants in general, I feel like we're very hardworking people. And to those that are coming that are undocumented, it's especially hard because their options are much more limited, and so they really have to hustle and try to find ways to provide for their families, because sometimes it's not just like one person. It's they'll bring, like you said, they might be leaving their country because they're seeking refuge here, because they're either getting prosecuted or whichever things they're leaving their country for. They're of course they're looking for a better life, but it's not just them. They're also bringing some family with them, and so they really have to help because they have to provide for their families, and so it's a lot harder for them. I know that for me, when I was in college, it was tough because I knew I had to pay for college, and it was hard getting just a job anywhere really. So but then once DACA was introduced, like back in 2012, that was for us, that was the sign of relief, because we actually now can work, and I'm really grateful because now I'm working at SteelSeries, actually working in my field, in computer science, and I'm furthering my career. And not only that, I'm also providing for my family, and it's great. I'm really thankful for that. So I feel like, yeah, Latinos and immigrants and the undocumented definitely do hustle, and I think they do deserve a chance, to feel proud of the contributions that they're making for this country. And I think we do deserve like a path towards citizenship, because we've worked so hard in this country, and I feel like a lot of them feel like this is their home now.
I even heard a study where a lot of military people that are on immigrants that moved to the US don't have papers, did their time, they served the ball for the US, still got deported.
Wow.
And that's messed up
Hmm.
because they're
Hmm.
fighting for us, right? In a way.
Hmm.
And they're getting deported doing their time. You should give them a way like
Yeah.
a thank you.
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
So it's sad, man. It's sad. It's a very touchy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's very
Yeah.
tricky. Um,
Hmm.
but it's interesting because any other country like Cuba, for example, if you leave Cuba and you to Florida, you would get citizenship like this because you left communism. That's the way they saw it. So it's very hard. What people don't understand is being from Mexico, any other Central America, it is so tough to get citizenship. My mom barely just got her citizenship. I know people that waited more than 30 years, and they even tried marrying an American man, still didn't get citizenship. So it's very hard. I try to tell people
Hmm.
so hard. Now I do want to share one thing, speaking about, life and my Jewish people. Me and Sam back in Chicago, I introduced Sam to a nice Orthodox. Look, brother, you're with me, so you okay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good time. And no lie, I felt like Sam, you and your mom, you guys blend in so fast. I could say this, in Maestro, one of our teachers in Torah, he
Hmm.
actually has classes every Monday nights. And me, Sam, my mom, and Sam's mom will go, and all of us
Hmm.
will go learn and study the Parsha, the Torah, really get into philosophical ideas. And we loved it so much. We would stay, literally, it was supposed to be an hour. We'll leave like in 3 hours.
Yep.
And brother, what was your impression like going to the shul for the first time and going to the Monday nights class?
Yeah. The first time I remember was yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was gonna be different. And yeah, I was glad that you were there because you kind of showed me around, introduced me to people, and that made it a little bit easier to at least try to kind of get in the rhythm and understand what the how it goes, right, and their service, because it's completely different from what we knew in Christianity. But yeah, it was completely different. I really liked the classes, especially like because we had on Shabbats, like after we had the service, the maestro would have his little class in the afternoon, and we would stay for a couple hours even after, and we would continue studying the parsha and just kind of go deep into and kind of look deeper at what the parsha is saying, and touch on different teachings from maybe he would throw a little bit of Talmud here, or what the Mishnah says about that. It's a lot of different topics, and some of those are very they're interesting because it brings up things that you see in your everyday kind of life, and you can apply to your to your everyday life. But yeah, and the Monday night classes were really good because we got to be almost like almost like a one-on-one with the maestro, and we can ask him all sorts of questions relating to the parsha. And sometimes we would go on tangents, but those tangents were also very eye-opening, and they would kind of give you more insight into what the parsha and what the Torah is saying. And yeah, I really enjoyed all that.
That's amazing, brother. I gotta say too, like, I feel like for anyone to learn, have to debate and you have to ask questions. Those are the only two ways you could really learn.
Hmm.
You don't understand why it is like that unless you ask the question, And for those who don't know, Parsha means a section of the Torah. Every Jew in the world, many Jews don't do it because they're not religious, but who do take the Torah to the heart, they read a certain section of the Torah, and we read it. It's a homework for the whole world, pretty much, and it's beautiful
Hmm.
because I could be in
Hmm.
Chicago, I could be in Vegas, and we're learning the same passage. Thing I like about Judaism is that when we read the parsha, the section of the Torah of the week, when Shabbat comes, which is the Sabbath for us on Friday night and Saturday, the rabbi speaks, gives a speech
Hmm.
about what we read that week. Whereas when you go to a Christian church or a Catholic mass, the leader, the priest, or the pastor has already put together a sermon for the public, but the public has not even read what the pastor just read. Like it's just random verses that they're sharing, but none of the congregation read what he was talking about. So no one's in the same page. It's just hearing basic lecture, and that's what I like about Judaism. Is that we're very organized and structured, and I like that because it helps me
Yes.
to feel like I'm in school still. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Hmm. Yes, yes. It makes you feel like we're in union, right? Like we're one because, like you said, you could be in Chicago, you could be in Vegas, or somewhere else in the US, or maybe even across seas, and we're all looking at the same passage or portion of the Torah for that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, brother, I know the time's running out quick, but I
Mhm.
do gotta say one thing I like, brother. I gotta be real, is coming over for Shabbat to your house and your mom making the best food. I'm not gonna lie, she'll make like a lot of food. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I do remember that.
You
We
know what I'm
well,
saying?
we used to have the Monday night classes at my place. I don't know if you remember that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
For a little while, excuse me, we had them at my place, Monday night classes. And yeah, my mom would just kind of, throw stuff together and get something for people. And man, it was really good food. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say, you guys have one of the best hospitalities. I love feeling like a family, and it's just beautiful, brother, to see that, if I go to your house, if I don't have a place to stay for Shabbat,
Hmm.
that your mom will open her arms and be like, "Hey, look, you could come,
Hmm.
bring mom, and we'll have a good time." And I love that. I think that's a beautiful thing, brother. I'm really happy.
Hmm.
Brother, I'm gonna wrap it up because I see the time's
Hmm.
about to kick me out real quick. But guys, this is
Hmm.
the outlet to reality. The holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! You know where to find me. I'm on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, outlet to reality. My Snapchat is take one pass it, and my TikTok is at Yaakov 28. And brother Sam, where can my fans find you?
They can find me on Snapchat as well. I forget my handle to be honest. Yeah, you could pass it along, right? You can find me. I also have an Instagram, but I'll pass you the info because I forget it off the top of my head.
You're good, brother. You're good, man. Thank you, brother.